My name is Mehdi. I'm support engineer with Grandstream Networks here in Boston. And for today's webinar, we will introduce the WP820, which is the portable enterprise Wi-Fi IP phone supported and manufactured by Grandstream Networks. So this device is designed as an ideal solution to add more flexibility and mobility to your existing VoIP network. Before I get started and going through the slides, I would like to mention if you have any questions, submit them in the Q&A section, and I will get back to you at the end with all the answers. So for today's agenda, we will begin with an introduction to the product overview. We will describe the handset with all the features, and we will introduce some intelligence gesture control, push-to-talk button. We'll talk about the roaming and mobility. We'll explain some method how to charge the handset. And at the end, we will end with questions and answers. But before that, we will do a live demo of the web user interface of the device. So one of the reasons why businesses are adopting more portable Wi-Fi phones is the fact they support the same features as the desktop phone. And besides those main features, the Wi-Fi IP phones support control functions or advanced control functions like caller ID and ring group and intercom and advanced call routing. And it's easy to integrate with your existing VoIP infrastructure. So the WP820 is an enterprise portable Wi-Fi phone equipped with 2.4 LCD screen. It has an Android operating system version 7. It has a dual band Wi-Fi 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and the protocol or the standard supported by the WP820 for Wi-Fi is 802.11a, .11b, .11g, and .11n. This device has an advanced antenna design, roaming, and it integrates a Bluetooth for pairing with handsets and mobile devices. So this powerful portable Wi-Fi phone has an elegant look with a streamlined external design and exceptional durability. So you have up to 150 hours of standby time and 7.5 talk time. It has an HD voice integrated and a dual mics. The WP820 offers a powerful combination of features from mobility, durability, and other features to suit all the portable telephony needs. So to ensure the connection quality, the WP820 supports quality of service. So you can tag the layer 3 to prioritize your voice traffic. This phone features 2 different SIP accounts. So you have up to 2 different accounts that could be registered to your SIP or IPPBX provider. It has a speed dial and call forwarding, transfer call. And another feature that I would like to mention is the SMS. So the WP820 can exchange SMS messages with any other device that supports the same protocol, which is message or text over SIP. In terms of call features supported by this product, which is the WP820, this device can handle 2 incoming different calls using the call waiting feature. So if there is any incoming call during an active call, the WP820 will play the call waiting tone and display the information about the incoming call in the LCD screen, so you can take the decision to answer or just reject the call. In the case you decide to answer the incoming call, the active current call will be put on hold, and you will need to use the up-down button navigation keys to switch between the 2 lines. The WP820 supports transfer modes using either blind or attended mode, And during the transfer process, the phone will display both options as displayed in the LCD, as displayed in the slide. Other call features supported are three-way audio conferencing and on-demand call recording. You can play and download all the recorded files from the user interface of the WP820. This device, the WP820, is fully integrated with the Grandstream door phone system, which is the GDS 3710. To stream video output and on the LCD screen and open the door using using a button that we call open door. Also, in case you run into an issues and you need to reset the handset, so you can factory reset the WP820 either from the web user interface, or you can access to the factory reset button from the LCD main menu, or you can just use the hard key reset during the boot process just by pressing and holding on the key combination of 1 and 9. In terms of handset design, the handset is equipped with a proximity sensor, just like the technology used and integrated with the smartphones. The handset also supports the message waiting indicator to indicate if there is any voicemail message available. Essentially, this is indicated by the blinking circle red that you can see on the top right of the handset, and the volume buttons are located on the side, just top on the top of the push to talk button. And the size of the LCD screen is 2.4 inches, and the resolution is 240 by 320. The handset can be configured to pick up or hang up the call just by positioning the handset on or off the cradle. This option is disabled by default, so you need to enable it. You have to access to the web user interface and enable it. It should be under Call Settings, Configuration page. Another additional feature, which is intelligence gesture control, are included in the WP820, as shown in image number 1. So you can mute or unmute the call just by double tapping on the LCD screen. On the image number 2, so you can reject the call just by flipping the headset face down. The WP820 is built with push-to-talk capability that allows users to multicast audio traffic just by pressing on the push-to-talk button, which is located on the side of the handset. Generally, the push-to-talk button is useful for emergency notices and important announcement, especially in hotels and department store that required coordination between the team member and in a time-sensitive manner. Instead of making several calls to coordinate with a group or the users of the group, the phone with just one button, which is the PTT, allows you to reach an active talk group with a single press on one button. So the push-to-talk button feature allows users to talk within the same VLAN without needing an IP PBX. It supports point-to-point paging and multicast paging as long as the devices are subscribed and joined to the same channel and a group. The audio is sent as a half duplex on a pre-configured multicast IP channel. While one person is transmitting the traffic, the other can only receive. The WP820 has 3 modes of push-to-talk with 3 levels of priority. For example, when there is an audio traffic on the default group and another user multicast the audio traffic on the emergency group, the latter will override the active default group and barge in. You can also configure the WP820 with the option to prioritize the barging of the push-to-talk button over an active calls. In addition, each handset can be configured with a caller ID. So when you receive a multicast paging call, you would know the source who or that has initiated the paging. In terms of applications and deployment scenarios, mobility in the office or any work environment built on wireless connection can be a contributing factor for productivity, especially in workplace where employees are required to move uh, frequently. So the WP820 supports roaming based on two main options. The first one is the received signal strength indicator, and the second one is opportunistic key caching, which is OKC. So the RSSI stands for a received signal strength indicator, which is a measurement of how strong the signal is received from an access point. So on the WP820, the RSSI level can be between 0 and minus 100, and basically the closer to 0, the better the signal is. For the opportunistic key caching, as you can see in the image in front of us on the slide, this wireless technology is used to help reduce the time needed for authentication. So when this technology is used, multiple access points can share pairwise master key between them, and the station can roam to a new access point that has not visited before and reuse the pairwise master key that was established before. And there are few requirements for roaming to work seamlessly. So all the APs in the wireless network should be using the same SSID and belong to the same VLAN or network group. Also, the authentication method should be identical on all the access points, and most importantly, the access point must overlap enough so the WP820 can maintain a good connection during the roaming. So another scenario for the application and deployment scenarios for the remote connection to the IPPBX or the existing VoIP infrastructure. So now the remote workers and virtual offices are becoming more and more adopted. Users can connect to the company phone system from home or from any corner of the world. And the WP820 fits perfectly in that lifestyle. The WP820 can register to the IPPBX or SIP server provider from any wireless network, regardless the geographical location, as long as the IPPBX or the SIP provider is reachable on the public network. In the case the privacy is a concern for you or for the company, the WP820 supports OpenVPN, which lets you create a secure network connection while using the insecure public network. The OpenVPN or VPN connections in general provide many benefits, and OpenVPN constantly diminishes the risk of security breaches and attacks from hackers because the traffic is encrypted with an advanced encryption algorithm. So the WP820 can be configured as an OpenVPN client and send all the traffic encrypted within or through the OpenVPN tunnel. The implementation of OpenVPN on the WP820 for remote workers or remote devices is fast, easy, and effective security solution. So another big thing about this device is convenience and cost effectiveness. So, for example, if a worker is traveling outside the country, you can always have access to the company's phone system, so you can make and receive calls without uh, the cost or add-in cost associated to international calls. For the integration with the Grandstream door phone system, the WP820 is fully integrated with the GDS 3710. So as I mentioned earlier, WP820 can be easily integrated with the Grandstream door phone system to stream the video and unlock the door remotely. This works the same fashion with all Grandstream IP phones. On the live demo, I will show you how to configure this option. In this slide, we have three main methods or ways to charge the handset. So you can use the cradle or the base. You can use the GMC08 that I will explain in the next slide, or you can use just a micro USB cable. So you have three main methods to charge the handset. So Grandstream introduces the GMC08, which allows you to charge up to 8 different batteries at the same time. So one big thing about the GMC08 is the fact you can have the WP820 constantly on the move without the need to leave it on the cradle or charging on the base. So you can simply swap the batteries, and this device, I mean the GMC08, is capable of charging multiple batteries simultaneously. Now we're going to go ahead with the live demo. I'm going to access to the web user interface of the WP820. Okay, so you need to find out the IP address of the WP820s, and this information can be accessed from the LCD screen. So on the main menu, just go to the status icon, and from the status icon, navigate to network status, and from there, you can find out the IP address of the WP820. Once this IP address is found, so you just browse it on your web browser, and you should see this page. And the default password and user should be admin, and you can change it after a while. So I'm going to access to my device, and the first page that come up is the status of the SIP account. In my case, they are unregistered. You can access to the network status to find out a bunch of IPv4 and IPv6 information, all network related. And most importantly, you have to verify and check the firmware version if it's on the latest one. So you have to go to the system version. In my case, I'm on 1.0.1.15, and you can check the firmware version. Just go to firmware.grandstream.com and then search for the WP820. And fair enough, I'm on the latest one. You can use the beta version, but before you do this, you have to read the release note and see what the changes has been done from the latest one. I mean the latest firmware version. To configure your SIP accounts, so you have to navigate to the account section, and you have two different SIP accounts. Basically, you need four different information to be registered to any SIP provider or IPPBX, from the account name, the SIP server, the SIP user ID, and the SIP authenticate ID. This must be delivered or provided by your IPPBX provider or administrator or the SIP provider. Once this has been done, so you can have your WP820 registered, so you can dial out and receive calls. In the case you want to use this WP820 to be paired with another like a SIP endpoint, you need to uncheck this one. So SIP registration should not be checked. Otherwise, this device will send a registration request for the IPPBX. For the codec, if you want to use, for example, the G729 as the first, so you need to check and then make it the first in the list. If you want to take it out, so you can do this. So just you have the available codecs and the selected codecs, and you can like take codecs between these two categories. In most cases, we use the PCMU and PCMA. Okay, so in the case you have a lot of ghost calls, it means you receive calls from non-authenticated sources. So you can access to this and deactivate this option. Just so you need to check this one and this one. So you have check SIP user ID for incoming invite, and only accept SIP requests from unknown servers. You can check the authenticate incoming invite, but sometimes this will lead to another issue. So I recommend to use these two options, and this will be enough to block all the ghost calls. In the case you need to upgrade your the firmware version of your WP820, so you can do it manually. Just download the firmware and then unzip it, retrieve the binary file, and then upload the file, and that's it. In the case you have multiple WP820, you can push the firmware server path using the 0config, or you can put it manually, and then on the boot, the firmware will request the firmware binary file from the firmware server path that you have already configured. So save and apply. On the reboot, the WP820 should be upgraded, or you can just press on the upgrade button. Okay, here. So this option, push to talk button. So the device comes with a default multicast IP address that you can change based on your needs. So you need to change the multicast IP address and the port so it would work. And here you can change the priority, which is from 1 to 25. So you have the default channel and the priority of the channel. In my case, the emergency channel has a priority 25. This is the highest one. So for the push to talk button, the priority range from 1 to 25, and for paging, it should be from 26 to 50. For the GDS, this one is already configured. Okay, so to add like a remote button, so when you click on the button, the door will be opened on the GDS. So you should access to the value added service and then add the button. You can give it any name here, and the GDS number should be the SIP user ID used by the GDS to be registered to your IPPBX. In my case, is 2009, and the GDS password should be the remote pin. If you are familiar with the GDS, you know where you can get it. It should be configured when you access to the web user interface of the GDS. So it's the pin we use to open the door. Once all these steps has been done, just add, and that's it. So when you receive a call on your WP820, the video will be automatically displayed on the LCD screen, and you have this option to click on a button and open the door remotely. So basically, this is it for the live demo. If you have any other questions, you can submit them in the Q&A section, and I will get back to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we have a few questions here that would like to be answered. Here's the first one. Can we download Android apps on the WB820 from Google Play?
No, this cannot be done. It's a closed environment. So any apps could not be downloaded from Google Play.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
another one.
Yes. I want to add something else. It's not like the GXB3275 where you can download applications. So this one, it's a closed environment. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. The next question we have is, which Wi-Fi chipset is in the phone?
You mean the standard or the hardware? I'm not sure what do you mean.
Not
So for the Wi-Fi
standard.
Yeah, the
They're
standard.
asking about the standard.
Yeah, it supports 2.4. It supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. This is the Wi-Fi frequency. For the standard, we have 802.11a, 802.11b, 802.11g, and 802.11n. This is the standard supported by the WP820.
Does it support WBA2 Enterprise? If so, does it store authentication on the handset?
You mean store the password? I didn't understand the question because the WP820 will be registered to the SIP provider or IPPBX based on user ID and password. So it will definitely register the password, but you can't have access to it easily.
So the question that you were just answering, they were asking about the Wi-Fi.
So you need the further explanation about the Wi-Fi?
I believe so.
Yeah, so as I said, so the Wi-Fi supports dual band, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, and the standard is 802.11a, .11b, .11g, and .11n. This is the standard implemented within the WP820. For the chipset or the hardware specifications, right now I don't know, but we can get back to you with this information.
Okay, thank you. So there is another question that someone actually tried the W820. So they're asking that we try the WP820 in a large Wi-Fi network with 22 APs. However, it failed to maintain connection as it kept losing connection during calls. Does the Wi-Fi need to be configured a specific way, such as a zero handoff?
I think this is a matter of a support ticket. So just submit your ticket, and we will involve the team, our team, for this issue, because we need to rebuild the scenario. Okay,
thank you. For security authentication, does it support enterprise mode?
Yes.
Okay. For the person that asked about the question that you said for the support ticket, they are saying that they did try the support ticket, but no response. So maybe I can sync you guys up together after
You
the
can send
call
me.
and get.
You can send me the ticket number, so we can escalate.
Okay. There's another question here. What models IPPBX that the Wi-Fi phones work with?
Any IPPBX that support SIP standard should be fine.
Does WP820 support call waiting?
Yes, definitely. This is what I was explaining on the slides.
Okay. And how many SIP accounts does a WP820 support?
You have 2 different SIP accounts.
I don't see any more other questions coming in. Do you have any final add-ons that you'd like to add to the presentation before we say goodbye?
Thank you for taking the time to be present in this webinar. And if you have any other questions or technical issues, you have helpdesk.grandstream.com, and we will get back to you based on the priority of the ticket. Thank you for your time. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And for those that had the other questions, I will forward them over to Maggie, and you guys can sync up and take it from there. We will also be sending you this presentation, so just allow a few days for us to get it together. And like Maggie said, if there's any questions, please reach out to Grandstream or Streetwave, and we'll be happy to assist. Thank you, everyone, for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.